Good evening, class. My name is Ifeanyi Fezulike. Tonight I'll be presenting the case analysis of Dr. Jack Perry's dental practice. First of all, I'll present you with the background of this case. I'll give you the issues that Dr. Jack Perry faces, and I'll present recommendations that I think would work for him, as well as the ways to evaluate the recommendations. First of all, the background of the case. Dr. Jack Perry is a dentist located in Cromwell, Ontario. He has a very successful dental practice, and it's doing really well financially. He doesn't have a lot of competition. 3 other doctors practice with him. He employs 6 people, 2 full-time hygienists, 2 part-time receptionists, 1 full-time assistant, and a part-time assistant. Compensation-wise, he's really, really good to his employees. He provides them with cash bonuses, holiday flexibility, vacation flexibility, as well as great compensation financially. The issue Dr. Perry is faced with, however, is that his staff don't feel as if they are being compensated enough for all the effort they put in. They have real low morale. This is because they see his business growing, however, they don't know the costs that he incurs in running his business. Plus, they see him making all this money and don't feel like they're making as much as him at all. Dr. Perry hence is faced with coming up with a solution to this poor morale issue, because with poor morale, his business is being really less productive. He has 2 options. Option number 1 would mean that he would hire his hygienists as contractors. That would mean that rather than earning a set salary, his hygienists would start working on commission. They will be responsible for getting their own collection, finding patients, calling patients about appointments, finding out why patients are canceling, and actually, adding incentives based on this. Market price-wise, as hiring hygienists as contractors, he will have to pay them 40%, and this could lead to a 7 to 13% increase in his billing. There are many disadvantages to this method. The first disadvantage is that this doesn't really address the problem of low staff morale, as it only targets the hygienists. It only deals with the hygienists. It doesn't affect the assistants, receptionists, or anybody else. If he goes ahead and chooses this problem, it's not going to solve the problem of his staff. It might actually make it worse, because the hygienists are the only ones growing, and everybody else might be jealous. The next option Dr. Perry has is to use a profit-sharing approach. In this approach, he will provide rewards based on collections for every member of his team. This approach is actually the better option because it allows for him to have teamwork in his business. It also encourages his employees to all care about the financial and overall growth of the business. Everybody would want to, work hard, improve productivity and effectiveness so that his business will grow. Because the better the business does, the more incentives they gain. Recommendations-wise, I think that he should definitely adapt the second option, that is, adopt the profit-sharing model. He could have several areas of resistance to this model. First of all, many of the old staff workers might be set on their old ways. They won't want to change. Many people might have issues with changing as well. Many people might have problems with the reward system. What if he rewards one group differently than he rewards the other? In order to fix these problems, Dr. Perry has to do several things. First of all, he must plan and decide on what compensation method he will use and who he will reward for what. After he does this, he must communicate these guidelines and the ways the rewards will be used to all his staff members and involve the staff in every step of his implementation process. He should also effectively explain the reason why he's planning this. Let the staff know that he doesn't understand their problem of low morale and try to figure out where they're coming from. Should also have a very open door policy, on the address and resolve the concerns his employees may have. Listen to them because they might have solutions that he hasn't looked at, and try to see if he can solve any problems. He needs to emphasize the role of each staff member. He has to let everybody know that they play a very important role in the team, and that everybody has the chance to, make rewards if they work hard enough. Also, he needs to install an adequate monitoring system to measure each individual employee's performance. This will help with the problem of freeloaders, which will be the only problem such a system will have. That is, one group of people don't work, slackers, and the other people are working really, really hard. So to solve this problem, he should make sure he's monitoring the system really, really well. See that people that work hard are being rewarded equally, and those who don't work hard are being disciplined. He constantly needs to evaluate employee performance. Every fiscal year, maybe 2 months, every 2 months, every 3 months, but he needs to do it on a constant basis and not just once a year. This is so that he can continuously let his employees know where they stand. If somebody's not doing as well as they should be, if somebody's not looking like they're going to get a reward or incentive, let them know, find out what's going on with them and encourage them or push them to work harder in getting these collections. Now, I'm going to discuss the ways that you can evaluate these recommendations that I've made. First things first, as I said earlier, you need to continuously evaluate this option so that you can see how it affects the morale and the revenue that he brings in. I suggest that he use a 360-degree feedback in performance appraisal. This method will allow for everybody, including the customers, him, the co-workers, to evaluate each staff member and let's see how they're doing. Everybody has a voice, and then he can find out who is freeloading off the others and who's actually not doing work. He also needs a systemic method to identify, who's working hard. The computer system that he already has is really, really good, but he needs a better method, a standard method that he can use to, figure out who is working hard. In conclusion, I think option number 2 is a much better solution to the issue at hand than option number 1 because it actually addresses the staff morale problems. If you're only to look at the hygienists and offer them the benefit, then the other staff members might become fed up and actually leave his business. Option 2 provides a greater incentive for the staff to work as a team because it's tied in with rewards. It also improves productivity, and he'll probably make more money for his business. I really have no real life, examples of this. I talked to a friend of mine earlier, and she was telling me how in a dental practice that she works in, hygienists and assistants and receptionists are rewarded on this, this whole incentive thing, team incentive thing. She used an example of the product Invisalign and how the Invisalign people come and try to sell it, and the dentist rewards each team member on how much they sell or how much they use that. I think that's a great example, very similar to the Dr. Perry case. And that's it for now. I hope everybody really enjoyed this. I'm really glad I got to do it. I'm expecting your feedback and your comments. Thank you so much, and have a great night.